Coach, how do you feel about practice today?
Actually, it was good. It was probably one of the better practices we've had. It's definitely the best practice the O-line's had since probably fall camp started. So that was good to see. We needed to see it. It needed to happen. Kind of started off with some 3-on-3 live, O-line, D-line with running backs, and kind of got them going. It was good. Get some live tackle and live hitting, and that was good. And we actually had one of our better practices we've had in a long time.
And it seems like you guys are almost pretty much back to full strength out there.
We'll see on game day. It looks like it. It looks like we're getting better. That'll help. That'll help getting all the guys back. But just it's a process. We said that from the get-go, and in the process, we got better tonight. So that's something positive. We'll build on that for sure.
When you look back at the videos last Saturday, what was the one thing that stood out? You said we got to be a lot better this Saturday.
The third downs in the first quarter. I thought our defense came out, played real well in the first quarter. We still had the ball 9 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter, and we had 4 third downs that just make you really upset your stomach, because a lot of times when you get whooped, at least if you can watch the tape and go, God, if I'd have just called this. But those 4 third downs, that's the call you'd make now until the day they lay me under the earth. That's just, they're there. Those calls are there against that look, and we just got to get better at executing them. And that's what coaching is, getting your players to execute it. So that's my job. That's all of our jobs, and so we just got to keep grinding out here and get where we'll execute it, and then you execute those 4 calls, and who knows, you might be up 14-0 in the first quarter, and then it can be a whole different game. So, no doubt, if there's something I had to say, it was the third downs execution in the first quarter by the offense.
I would imagine if you get the same type of defensive effort this Saturday, you have to be pretty pleased with your chances, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think so. From the first and fourth quarter, it need to be better in the second and third, and then actually the offensive effort in the fourth quarter was good. So. Kind of said that to him tonight. Last week we had a real good, not as good as tonight, but we had a good practice on Tuesday, a terrible practice on Wednesday, and an okay practice on Thursday. That's kind of how we played in the game. Good in the first quarter, terrible in the second and third quarter, and good in the fourth quarter. So what we need to do is put 3 good practices together in a row, and then maybe we can go out and play 4 good quarters in a row. So that's kind of the goal.
I would imagine that's probably what you're going to need against this Northern Illinois team.
Yeah, they're a great team. They got a real good quarterback. He's a competitor. He's a stud. But, they put their pads on just like we do. It's in our place. It's our backyard. So we need to protect our backyard and go out there and hit them in the face and keep doing it the whole game and see who can win.
What's the greatest challenge they're going to present to you?
The quarterback running the ball, and the misdirection with the quarterback run, and then play action off of it. But, it's all about him. Their team basically is built about him, in my opinion, because he's a great leader, and they all rally around him, and he plays hard, and he's tough. Those are the kind of guys you like to rally behind. So we got to get after him, and then maybe we'll have a chance.
Coach, does playing a quarterback like Brett Smith last week help you going into a similar ish type quarterback?
A little bit, but they're really 2 totally different people. Brett's a thrower. He's fast, but he wants to throw the ball. He's not really about physical. He wants to just throw it and pick you apart. And this guy, he's like a linebacker playing quarterback, or he wants physical contact. He wants to run it. He wants to try to run you over, and so they're both leaders. They're both really good quarterbacks, but in 2 totally different ways.
Coach, with it being the first home game, maybe you haven't thought about it too much, but can you see that the players are getting pretty excited about being able to play at home?
Oh yeah, it's always great to play at home and play in front of your fans and your fellow students and the other athletes in town, and you just got to protect your house. That's any great program wins at home. And I was lucky enough to be involved with the great winning streak here back in the early '90s, and I was actually part of ending it too when we were at Utah State. But we won at home. We defended that turf. That was our dome, and we won all the time. And anytime you have a great program, that's what you got to do. And so we're gonna get fired up. We're gonna get excited, and we will have a great winning streak at some point in this dome. There's no doubt in my mind.
Coach, can you think back to your last game when you were an assistant here at the KB Dome, and what you remember most and liked most about the environment here?
Just they all had the things that bang together and make the noise, and everyone was going crazy. I'll be honest, I don't think I coached a game in the Dome when I was an assistant that wasn't completely packed. It was packed, it was loud, they were crazy, we were really good. So there's a lot of great memories. It was like every week of practice you just knew, we're better than this team, we're going to whoop them. There's like maybe one game a week, one game a year that you really had to go, these guys might be as good as us. So those were pretty easy, fun years. So we got to get back to those years.
And how do you reach out to the fans and get it back to that?
You know, I think it's just about showing them passion, showing that we play the game right, showing that we're good people around town, showing that we know what's right from wrong, showing that we treat people right. I think if you do that, and then you got to play good, you know, but you got to do all those things too. You got to show that you're good people, and then you meet people on campus and the other fellow students like you, and then they'll come watch you play. You know, you meet people downtown and they like you, they'll come watch you play. And then you got to go out there and play your tail off and put on a good show. And I think people understand that we're in a process of turning it around. If we'll go out there and just play with unbelievable effort and fight from start to finish, then they'll come. You know, and then as it gets better and better, more and more will come. And then when we start rolling people up and getting after it, it'll be packed every game again.
Coach, I asked you this on Media Day, but with the home opener coming up, have you thought about the traditions such as carrying out the axe and the American flag to honor the military servicemen?
Well, for sure we will. You know, this is veteran. You know, I bought some tickets for someone to come to this game. Everybody, I think, bought tickets for veterans to come to this game. So, yeah, I think that's a great tradition, and you know, we'll definitely keep it going.